Radio.
Great, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shit Radio, an unrefined podcast for the everyman. I'm your host, Bill Brodsky. That's Liars.
Hello.
That's Wasted.
Hello.
And tonight we're going to talk about the current or former lead singer of Skid Row, the driver of the Swayze Express, rolling that train down the tracks, and what he's been up to lately. Liars, you saw an interesting video?
So apparently, Sebastian Bach lost his temper on stage the other night. Not sure where the venue was, but it's on Twitter. I'm going to post the video right now.
This fucking bitch, get her the fuck out of here! She comes up while I'm talking to my wife saying, "Hey, can Sebastian give me a hug? I'm not a fucking monkey, get your fucking ugly ass the fuck out of here! Get her the fuck out of here!" Ready for the next one?
And that was the video of Sebastian Bach losing his temper. So basically what happened there is he was pointing at a woman in the audience and asking the security to remove her because she had asked him for a hug while he was talking to his wife. Seems a little childish to me.
Have you noticed that Sebastian Bach is starting to look like a mean old lesbian? If you told me that was Melissa Etheridge, I totally would have believed it. Like, damn, dude, Melissa Etheridge got tall. I mean, he looks fucking horrible.
He does. He really does. I don't know. He's obviously led a very rich lifestyle, I guess we could call it, but it's age is definitely caught up with him and maybe brought him a few years past what he really is, because he looks like fucking garbage.
Did you guys ever see the celebrity rehab show of Dr. Drew? It had Steven Adler and it had Sebastian Bach on it. I remember Sebastian Bach would be like drinking a bottle of wine each day, like one or two bottles, just chugging it down.
Jesus. No, I remember Adler being on. I don't remember Sebastian Bach being. Was it the same season?
I don't know. I didn't know it had more than one season. Probably not then. I don't remember what season it was because, I don't have the celebrity rehab box set on DVD, but I do remember that dear Sebastian Bach was just hammered and just, I have no idea what's going on with that guy. He's got a great voice. He always has.
Yes.
I haven't heard him perform lately. Does he still have his voice?
I went to a concert of his a few years back, a few years back before COVID, right? My wife and I went to a show, and he still sounds great.
All right. Quick correction here. I just said that our boy Sebastian Bach, the conductor of the Swayze Express, was on celebrity rehab. It turns out he was not. He actually even had a little incident with Dr. Drew, and TMZ reported it, where Sebastian Bach said something calling Dr. Drew a quack. But Sebastian Bach was actually on another VH1 reality show because, he was on a VH1 show called Supergroup. Liars, what can you tell me about the VH1 show Supergroup?
Well, first off, it was a disaster. It was a reality television show where it had well-known rock stars in it, and they were. It was a 12-day period, over a 12-day period in Las Vegas mansion that they had the people over, and they were basically trying to form this super group, right? With Sebastian Bach, Jason Bonham, Scott Ian, Ted Nugent, and Evan Seinfeld. And Doc McGee was the band's manager.
Wasted. Doc McGee later went on to manage who?
Guns N' Roses.
That's right, buddy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Another new metal supergroup called Guns N' Roses.
Very interesting.
Oh yeah, he was the one that they fired because of the 2010, 2011 thing. That's when he was the last manager they had before Team Brazil took over. But I actually watched this show back in the day, and that's where my confusion was because, Sebastian Bach's getting freaking hammered on bottles of wine. So I naturally assumed this was like celebrity rehab. It just turns out Sebastian Bach being a drunk. But Wasted,
That
you
makes
also
sense.
watched the show, correct?
Yeah, what I remember was the Sebastian Bach and Scott Ian having a argument about the name in the band, because Sebastian Bach wanted Savage Animal, and Scott Ian said that it was like played out. It's like too 80s party rock. I think Liars, you know what the actual name they went with?
Yeah, it was Damnocracy.
Damnocracy. That's it.
That's a horrible name.
They're
Horrible
like
name.
damn Yankees meets democracy.
Well, that would make sense because Ted Nugent was in the band, right? Like,
Yeah. And I remember like
he,
Sebastian Bach used to go out jogging every morning, even though he was, up late at night getting smashed on wine. He'd always go for a run and then miss the band meeting in the morning, the rehearsal. And he always said that it was better for his career to go for a run at 8 a.m. every morning than be at the band meeting. So he was like doing an Axl Rose.
yeah.
You have a really strong career when you're appearing on a VH1 reality TV show in the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
when did this come out? Liars. What year?
What year did 2006?
Yeah. So wait a second. Actually, he had a little bit of a resurgence afterwards because he, like we previously mentioned, he started hanging out with Axel again. He released a CD. Was it Angel Down?
Dude, he's
Yeah.
he's released quite a few CDs since then.
But
He's
that one was
actually
actually had some traction.
no, yeah, fair enough. I think it had traction because it was Axl Rose was on it, but I would say as a solo artist, he's done okay. I have one of his albums, Kicking and Screaming, I believe it's called. It's very Skid Row. It sounds like Skid Row's first and second albums. To be honest, more Slave to the Grind than Skid Row, the eponymous album, but pretty good nonetheless.
Yeah, there was another one called All My Friends Are Dead. And something like rock and roll it's a evil game or something. He has like a new song out, didn't he, recently that was actually pretty good, where he's like walking down the road, and he picks somebody up in the video, like a fan or somebody off the road in his convertible.
It's called "Child Within the Man" is the album. It was last year, and it was a good song. It was his sixth studio album.
It's pretty old school type of 80s rock, really.
Yeah,
maybe a little bit.
Yep. I like I said. Go ahead. Sorry, Wasted.
There's another song called Temptation. When he also did a new metal album, didn't he? Where it sounded a bit like Korn or something, mixed, or Alice in Chains. So he's had a go at everything.
Nice.
Yeah, he's always had meltdowns, hasn't he? He's had a history. Like he had a wine meltdown a few years ago, didn't he, in Canada, where he sort of drunk 6 bottles of wine and got in a fight in a bar in Canada, I think. He's always been a wine gal, but now he just looks like the wine witch. If you put a top hat and a cauldron, and he's like chugging bottles of wine. But yeah, he definitely did.
Like Sebastian Bach, I remember like as a little kid, he was like on MTV with Skid Row. And then I don't remember anything from Sebastian Bach until he showed up hanging out with Axl Rose back in like 06. And then like from 06 to 08, he was kind of, you'd hear him around like the music scene, like performing live in concerts and being on tour. And then he disappeared again. And the next time I saw Sebastian Bach was on Trailer Park Boys, the famous Swayze Express episode. And then I don't remember seeing anything from Sebastian Bach except like him doing dumb shit and like TMZ reporting it.
Yeah, I always think about The Piece of Me. He back in the, I think it was the 80s or early 90s. Didn't he like he threw a bottle back into the crowd? That was like his first like meltdown, and it hit somebody and cut them or something. And then he got in big trouble for that. So he's always had a bit of a sort of meltdown in him.
Sebastian Bach seems like the kind of guy that'd be like on internet forums for like music, like the Hoffman forums or something like that. Just, getting into constant feuds. I don't know why I get that impression about him, but I totally do.
Yeah, because he's very, he sticks to his opinion and very enthusiastic about certain bands. But that seems to be, he really gets into like these kind of like feuds when he's in public and stuff. He's not going to back down, is he? In public, that seems to get him into like some fights and trouble. He seems to love it.
No, Liars Are Wasted. Do you guys know if he has any heat with like Slash or Duff? Because I find it weird that during the reunion, I can't remember Sebastian Bach or has he, and I'm just wrong. An audience, if I'm wrong, there's a comment section below. We saw an old My GNR post or Lundgren posting, which I'm like, hey, I remember that guy. So post the comments below. Liars and Waste will get back to you. But I don't know. Is there some heat with Duff or Slash? Is there a reason why, he's Sebastian Bach's not showing up with Axl? Because I thought they were like BFFs.
I've seen videos on YouTube with, Sebastian Bach in the sort of changing room. This is probably Use Your Illusion tour with Slash and Duff. But, Duff is standing there and Sebastian Bach is talking and like head banging. And then Slash has got his hair in a towel up, and Slash is just head down, doesn't want to, wishes like Sebastian Bach wasn't there. So I think they kind of Slash and Sebastian Bach don't really mix. Slash probably because Slash didn't really want Sebastian Bach in Velvet Revolver, did he? I think the two personalities don't mix very well.
I think Slash is a hard guy to get along with in business, whatever. That's how he strikes me, at least, is that he's very
like quiet.
I think quiet and has his opinions, and if he doesn't like you, he doesn't like you, won't do business with you. And then even if he does like you, I don't think you get the whole Slash. You know what I mean? He's extremely introverted. It looks like to me.
It kind of explains the whole Corey Taylor thing with Velvet Revolver, like why, they went in, they record a bunch of demos and stuff, and they just didn't, proceed. I know that, there was talk of Guns N' Roses reuniting back in 2010, 2011, and, Asloff was pushing it like crazy, but the fact that Corey Taylor and Velvet Revolver didn't happen, that's got to be Slash.
100%, I think.
Are you eating?
No. Why would we're recording.
Sounds like you got like a muffin in your mouth or something.
Yeah. Are you having a stroke?
No. I just had a sip of tea. I don't know.
Oh, now it's better. Like you're literally sipping the tea as we're recording. You can tell we're a real professional podcast here. I'll tell you what.
I'm drinking beer.
Well, that just adds to the flavor, you know what I mean? The more beer you drink, the better the show gets. That's my theory. It's always been how I run the show. Like, listen, places got to get lubed up before we start the show, or I'm not hitting record.
Are you eating?
Trust me, it's not the worst question I've asked on the show.
That was good, though. I liked it.
Back, but hold on. You might not remember this, but back before you were my co-host and Wasted was my co-host, I had E.T. as my co-host. Now, I love E.T. E.T., I love you. And I think you might have already been third chair. You might have been the other co-host with us. But E.T. used to fall asleep on the show.
Yes, he did.
Like, he'd be snoring on the show. And we used to have Miser on the show at all times. And who knows what he was doing in the background. Okay, we've had some guests on the show that have been a little questionable, or some former co-hosts that we don't exactly know what they're doing in the background. So me asking you if you're eating is not the craziest question I could have asked.
No, you're right. It's not, but it did make me laugh. I guess the saying goes, it tickled my funny bone. Is what they say.
Hey, at least I made one person laugh during this episode we're doing right now. That's something.
Now, back to the video, though, for a couple seconds.
Yeah, let's go back. Of course.
Just to wrap it up, right? Like, what? Why are you yelling at a woman, first off? Secondly...
He's probably drunk off his ass.
Yeah, but secondly, like it's obviously in the middle of the show, right? The show is happening around him. Why are you off stage talking to your wife? You should be on stage performing. Like, I
Well,
get it's your wife and everything. Like, I get it's your wife, but
Liars, I think you're using the term stage. This looks like the fucking performance, the bar that the Blues Brothers did their performance at. This is not a very big
Oh.
venue. You know what I
And
mean?
when I was saying before that I saw him a few years ago with my wife, he played a casino. Like, we're talking less than 1,000 people, right? It's a venue of, I think it's about 850 people. If that's everyone jammed in, right? Like, that's where we saw him. So that stage is familiar to me because that's the type of setup that we saw him in.
I mean, when I looked at the stage setup there, it looked like it was a place I could have been, serving Salisbury steak and doing bingo the other night of the week.
Yeah.
So,
But-
I mean, the glories of Sebastian Bach are long gone. And the fact that he's just yelling at a fan like, oh, she tried to hug me. Like, okay, I get it if she's like, hey, I got, I have a cold, or I'm sick, or hey, look, I got boogers all over my face. But the fact that, like, you're a celebrity and people are paying to see you and someone wanted to come up at you and give you love and you're just shitting on them, like cussing them out. Like, you could have politely said no, but he's just a drunk asshole. I mean, Sebastian Bach doesn't come across as someone's like, oh, that's a really nice guy. Like, here's the deal. Adler, and I know we talked about Adler earlier, maybe that's why it's in my head, because we're talking about that celebrity rehab thing they were both on. But every time I've ever seen like a fan interaction with Adler, no matter how fucked up he is, and trust me, he's made some bad decisions, he's always loving on the fans. He's always grateful to see him. He's never a dick. Sebastian Bach's just a dick. And you know what? I'm going to give some credit. In the last decade or so since the reunion, anytime you see him with fans, he's signing autographs, he's being polite, he's taking pictures, he's being a decent guy. I can't really think of anyone in Guns N' Roses right now that's not being polite to the audience when they see him out in public. Sebastian Bach just isn't a professional. And I don't know, he's probably going to get pissed at me now and be like, what am I talking about? He's not listening to this fucking show.
Hey, speaking of Guns N' Roses, Melissa Reese, this was a little victory for me. I made a comment on some Guns N' Roses page on Facebook, and Melissa Reese liked my post, so I wanted to say that. I was like, oh, look at that, Melissa Reese. And then I was like, not really. But then I clicked on the profile and it's her official account. Yeah, her official fan account, whatever. So
if it was Sebastian Bach and Meltdown and say, stop liking my posts.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, what I was going to say is this. We just did a show recently where we were talking about Appetite for Distortion's host Brando critiquing the fans that were critiquing Axl Rose's voice. But, Brando gets like fucking Bruce Dickinson on and, big names, huge names in the music industry. But guess what, folks? Here at Shit Radio, we get the keyboardist / sound person, whatever the hell she does, Melissa Reese of Gun, liking a post from Liars. So take that.
Take that.
Hey, you got Angus Young on? We got Dizzy Reed that said, hey, those guys are okay.
It's the small victories.
Yeah.
I've got a piece of grass that I picked up outside the stadium where Guns N' Roses were playing.
Perfect.
Could interview a piece of grass.
Don't worry, boys. We're working on our big Weird Al fucking interview.
All right.
Well, that fucking went nowhere. I made a joke that just bombed. Oh,
hey, they're not all home runs, man.
Oh God, that wasn't even close to a home run. That was like an infield pop-up.
Pop-up in the foul area.
Yeah, let's end this now, and I'll tuck my tail between my legs and hope the comment section doesn't just completely eviscerate me. Oh God, I suck.
All right,
Lars, take us out quickly.
All right, thanks for listening, everybody. Look for us on YouTube. Leave a comment, hit like, and subscribe. We really appreciate it. If you're not watching on YouTube, check us out on Rumble or Spotify or wherever else you get your podcasts. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note.